Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar in conversation with Ms. Ayushi Gupta. My name is Riya Tyagi, and I'll be your moderator. I am the school head girl, and I'm excited to be hosting this session today. I'm pleased to introduce today's speaker, Ms. Ayushi Gupta. Ms. Ayushi is an advocate, the founder of Law Digest, alumna of SRCC, and of course, an alumna of our school. So, without any further ado, I'd like to invite advocate, a woman of power, and inspiration, Miss Ayushi Gupta. Miss Ayushi, over to you.
Thank you, Ria, for such a warm introduction. At the outset, I would like to convey my deepest regards to Ma'am Sharmila and the whole teaching fraternity at Uttams. I'm thrilled to be taking this session for all of you. Thank you, Shilpi ma'am, for providing me this opportunity of being here. And my deepest condolences to the Uttam family for the loss of one of the most greatest souls that we have had, Ma'am Bhosle. So, before starting on the topic of law as a career, what I'd like to discuss is that I know that the audience that we have is from grade 11th and 12th. So, one of the most important questions that arises for you guys is what stream to choose. So, I first of all, I'll like to take that question up. Now, with respect to science, I know that anybody who wishes to do science is very clear about their goals. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an engineer, you want to go into pharmaceuticals, biochemistry, etc., then you know that you have to take science. But as far as humanities and commerce is concerned, what I'd like to say is that when you're dealing with these areas, I have seen that a lot of students keep in mind the fact that wherever we will get higher marks, that is the stream that we need to choose. But let me tell you that it's not a matter of stream. First of all, it's the matter of your own personal interest, what interests you more. And also, it is a matter of the fact that after choosing the stream, after doing your graduation, you have to go out there and find a suitable job for yourself. So what I'd like to say in this regard is that when you're seeing humanities and commerce, just weigh your options. Where does your interest lie? And as far I'm a commerce student, so without sounding biased towards the stream of commerce, what I'd like to say is that I feel that commerce is more applicable in the sense that when you go out and take jobs in the industry, there are more suited towards commerce. If you're dealing with humanities, then what I'd like to say is you figure out your area of interest. Whether you're interested in fashion or home science or physical education, you want to be a sports lecturer, or if you want to be a civil servant, even for that matter, I think humanities is a good stream. But what I'd like to say is that commerce is equally good. And if you wish to work in corporates, you want to get into the corporate culture, then for that area, I think commerce holds much importance. So now I'll move on to the question of law as a career. So when we see law, we get two opportunities to do law. One is after grade 12th and the other is after graduation. So after grade 12th, what you have to do is you have to do a 5-year law program that is conducted by various NLUs and other institutes, which I'll shortly be telling you about. So what you have to do in CLAT is it is an integrated program where you are given the options of choosing either BA LLB, BCom LLB, BBA LLB, BSc LLB. So this is an integrated program wherein you have subjects from BA, BCom, BBA as mentioned, and alongside you have law subjects. So in the whole, you are dealing with 2 degrees in one integrated program. So this is about 5-year law program, and it is conducted by various universities, the most popular one being National Law University, wherein all the national law schools form the part of the consortium, and they are considered to be the best as far as 5-year law is concerned. Apart from CLAT, so CLAT is the exam that you need to give to get into these NLUs. Now, apart from CLAT, there are other exams also, like you have IELT for NLU Delhi. NLU Delhi conducts its separate program from the NLU consortium. And apart from NLU Delhi, then you have SLAT, which is conducted by Symbiosis. You have MHCET, that is Maharashtra Common Entrance Test, which is conducted by another consortium of universities, another consortium of colleges in Maharashtra, the popular ones being ILS Pune. Then you have Government Law College. So these colleges are important with respect to 5-year law program also. And then if you'll see some colleges that are not so much at par with these, but they're equally good when we speak of law, because see, law at the end is a professional course. So it does not really matter that what college you go to. What really matters is the knowledge you gain out of it and how you can apply that knowledge in the real field. So coming to the colleges that I was talking about, then you have IP University. You need to give the exam for IPU CET, and also you have Amity. Now Amity, when we see Amity for other courses, then obviously we all know it's a private institute, and the kind of reputation it enjoys is not so good. But when I'm speaking of law, then Amity is also considered to be a decent college for law. So this is for 5-year law program. Now let me tell you about the 3-year law program, just in case you are undecisive at this stage of your life that okay, whether you want to get into law or not. Then you have another opportunity that will be available to you after you do your graduation. Now you can do graduation in any discipline, be it commerce, science, arts, anything. Law does not really prohibit you to a particular stream. So being from any background, you can appear for the 3-year law entrance exam. And Delhi University is considered to be one of the best colleges for this program. I did my law from Delhi University itself. There is law faculty in Delhi University that has 3 centers: Campus Law Center, Law Center 1, and Law Center 2. Now these centers are divided on the basis of timings, wherein you can pursue your LLB. So this is a regular LLB where it is not an integrated course, but what you will be taught is simply law. No other subjects apart from law will be taught here. And apart from DU, there are other entrances, like I mentioned, MHCET. It is very good for colleges like ILS Pune. Then you have colleges like Government Law College Bombay. It is also considered to be at par with DU. Then the same Symbiosis is there, Amity is there, IP is there. Then for students who have an inclination towards Hindi, they have an option to opt for BHU LLB. But what I'd like to say with respect to law is that when you're looking at courts like High Court and Supreme Court, the official language there they follow is English. So BHU, I still feel that it is, though a lot of students give BHU LLB program, but I think it sort of confines you to your own state. Now coming on to the fact of jobs that you might land up with. So once you do your LLB, you have various opportunities of getting yourself a job. The first and the very important opportunity that I feel is during your internships, which many students ignore. But internships hold a lot of importance when we speak of law. So if you're interning with a law firm or a lawyer or any corporate, what I'd like to tell you is that you need to be very focused on the work that they allot you, because if you will, show qualities in you that you're hardworking and you are good at research and you can really get into the details, then that is considered to be really good, because they try and offer you a PPO, that is a pre-placement offer. So you don't have to worry about your placements. And speaking of placements, the other recourse that you have is through the placement cell of your college. Law firms, corporates, LPOs, all these organizations, they come to your college, they recruit you. And apart from that, you have job portals, you have Locktopus. I would like to say that if you are interested in law, just start, looking at these websites for law, to get into an insight as to how it really functions, how moods happen, mood courts happen, how internships happen. You'll have a fair idea as to how this field functions. Now, speaking of myself, before getting into the options that you have, what I'd like to tell you my story as a lawyer. So when I did 12th from Uttam's in commerce, I secured a really good percentage. I topped the city of Ghaziabad, and I secured a seat for myself at the prestigious Shri Ram College of Commerce. Now, after I took up BCom honors as my course, and while studying BCom honors, we had law as a subject in our second and third year. Uh, I was sort of interested in law at that time also, but seeing everyone at SRCC, everyone has this aspiration of getting into business, taking up MBA at good reputed colleges, going to Ivy League colleges, and doing an MBA is what they are all about. So I was also following the rat race, and I took up CAT coaching to get into these colleges. And while I was studying for CAT, I was not really wholeheartedly studying for CAT at that time. Uh, uh, we have subjects like English, quant, logical reasoning, data interpretation. All these subjects are there that you are made to study for CAT. And somehow I was losing interest in quant, basically quantitative aptitude. While at school, I was really good at maths, but somehow it did not interest me so much. So I gave the exam. I secured a decent percentile, but that did not get me into any of the Ivy League colleges, or when you speak of IIMs. So as a backup, what I had done that time was that I had given the entrance for Delhi University. I did not appear for any other college. I just appeared for Delhi University, and I did not study at all for this exam because my mind was, occupied with CAT, and I thought that, I'll do an MBA. So I was so much deep into getting into an MBA college that I lost the foresight of the fact that, okay, I've filled a form as a backup and I should study for it. So this is actually funny that I picked up a book one day before the law exam, and when I start reading the book, then I felt that okay, law is really interesting. And somehow I sort of felt that the sick this feeling that I had, that, oh, the ship has sunken and I haven't endeavored to take law as a career, and I haven't endeavored to get into it. So after that, again, next year when I appeared for CLC for law faculty, I got through, and that was a really good time of my life that I had. I really enjoyed studying law. So I was so deep into law, I was so interested that I was amongst the top 5 students in the university for 3 centers. And I used to be sharing my notes with people. So then after that, alongside I did a lot of internships. I interned at around 10 places at all reputed law firms, at corporates. After that, I took up a job at a law firm where I worked for 3 years, and I did all sorts of work. I went to the court, I did drafting, I got into commercial aspect of law. And post that, what I felt was that, okay, I need to do something of my own also. So that it was after that I started up with this channel, and I realized the importance of online education. And I felt that the knowledge of law that I have gained, it should be shared with students, it should be shared with people. So I came up with this idea of my law channel. uh, I had a friend of mine who had a similar channel, but uh, he was totally into other exams that help you prepare for government jobs. So I took some help from him, and I started this channel. And today I have a lot of students who come to me and seek for their queries for law. And I also provide courses for law entrance exam preparations, for LLB, for LLM, for All India Bar exam. And that is how this channel goes. So as far as the job opportunities for you are concerned, I have listed some of the few that I'd like to tell you. Is first, when you speak of lawyer, when you speak of law as a stream, the first thing that comes to your mind is a practicing lawyer in a court. Okay, so there sky is the limit when we speak of practicing in courts. But the gestation period is a little high, and it takes a lot of time to get into the habit, to get the hang of the practice. But once you do, it really gives you a high. And there are people, who are earning 5 lakh per hearing, senior advocates. That is the fees that they charge. But then you have to be patient for it, you have to be ready for it. And apart from being a practicing lawyer, if you want a secure job, then there are a lot of government jobs that are there. Obviously, the first one is judiciary. For judiciary, you can take this exam for magistrate right after your LLB. You do not require any experience as such. So those of you who want to get into judiciary, you should start studying properly with your LLB only. You should start your preparation for judiciary right at that stage. And apart from that, there are different exams like public prosecutor, additional public prosecutor. Then there are also PSUs. They look for legal officers, and they have their exams for the same. You can sit for those exams. Apart from that, you can get into corporates, you can get a retainership with a corporate firm, and you can offer them legal advice. CS is also one of the best options. If you want to get into corporate law, then you can do CS plus LLB to be at the helm of the affairs of a corporate. Then apart from that, the banks are a good option, like you have IBPS law officer exams. Then legal journalism, if you feel that you are very good at English and you want to make it a sort of a professional course, then legal journalism is a very good course for you. You need to report judgments from the courts. And also, if you are more inclined towards social work, then I would say NGOs also require lawyers. So I think there are a few questions that are coming up. Ma'am, should we take questions now?
I don't know, somehow this meeting will be over by 4:28. I don't know how it is showing it to me. Yes, so I am just creating one more link. I will be sending it to everyone in the class group. So please, we will just carry forward with a new meeting as soon as this end up.
But we still
sorry for that
interruption. No, we have.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. No. Ayushi yes, is explaining well. We can start with questions now, and I think she'll be able to take only one question. After that, Ayushi, I do hope you have time for another meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Surely.
Ayushi?
Always, ma'am.
Yes, definitely. Just create one more and then I will send you a link.
But let Ayushi continue. She's speaking well and she should continue.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So
I saw one very basic question. There is a very simple question. You're talking about life after law. My girls are at the stage is maths necessary? It's a very basic question. You start from there till the time ma'am creates a link.
Right, ma'am. Okay. So, as I told you that in the beginning only, I told you that law does not require you to take a particular stream as such. So it is open for you. You be it any background that you're from, either science, commerce, humanities, whether you have maths or not, you can do law. Maths is not necessary for doing law, or any particular subject as such is not necessary for doing law. Do we have any more questions, or should I take up the fact of doing law from abroad? I think that is a topic that a lot of people are confused about, whether we should do law from abroad, whether it will be applicable in India or not. So with respect to that, I would like to tell you that even if you do law from abroad, once you come back to India and you want to practice in India, all you need to do is you need to enroll yourself with the Bar Council of India, and for that there is an exam that is conducted, that is the All India Bar Examination. So you have to appear for that exam. It is an open book examination. It is not very difficult, and once you come back to India, you have to read up on Indian laws, and because Indian laws will be the laws that will be asked as questions in that particular paper. So it is important that you have a knowledge of the Indian laws as well. Doing law from abroad does give you a good opportunity and good exposure, and it does enhance your personality, which you do require when you practice law, because you need to be very good with your communication skills. And I think doing law from abroad helps you with that. I think we are left with less than a minute, and the session will get interrupted in between.
So we could take a break and join immediately.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.